The House committee investigating the January 6th attack on the Capitol is now laying out the case for its contempt of Congress charge against Trump's former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, including how the committee wanted to question him over an email that he sent the day before the attack saying that the National Guard would be used to, quote, protect pro-Trump people. Meadows is obviously no longer cooperating, and the committee is slated to vote today to recommend a contempt of Congress charge against him. CNN's Whitney Wild is in Washington. Whitney, what did we learn from this new 51-page document that came out overnight?
Well, this is really giving a lot of color to the extent to which the former chief of staff went to try to utilize basically every avenue he felt like was available to him to try to overturn the election, largely because that's what the president wanted. So let's go back to this January 5th email. This is one of the key findings here. Again, a January 5th email in which the former chief of staff, Mark Meadows, said this. The National Guard would be present to protect pro-Trump people, and that many more would be available on standby. That's significant, Caitlin, because what we know is that the National Guard did not arrive to the Capitol until hours after the fighting began, and there continue to be questions about who made those decisions, how they were made, and what was basically responsible for the time lag between when the initial request was made and when the National Guard ended up being activated and finally making its way to the Capitol. I mean, there are a ton of revelations in this resolution. There's another one about Mark Meadows' communications with members of Congress about appointing an alternate slate of electors that would, in effect, nullify the votes from their areas, which would, in turn, overturn the election. So here's just a little snippet of that section from the resolution. Received text messages and emails regarding apparent efforts to encourage Republican legislators in certain states to send alternate slates of electors to Congress, a plan in which one member of Congress acknowledged was, quote, highly controversial, and to which Mark Meadows responded, I love it. So there, again, continue to be more and more examples of what we already know, that Mark Meadows went to great length to try to overturn the election. There are also new details about what was going on within the White House, within Trump's orbit on January 6th. And one of those revelations is that there was a media personality who encouraged the former president to put out a statement once the fighting was going on at the Capitol on January 6th, urging people to leave peacefully. Additionally, there was a communication between Mark Meadows and a rally organizer in which a rally organizer said to him, this is getting crazy. We really need to get some guidance here. I desperately need some guidance. And the resolution alludes to communications there. I mean, it just goes on and on. But ultimately, Caitlin, this is the committee's effort to try to get more information from Mark Meadows, especially about documents he's already provided. However, Mark Meadows contends that their request for information is overly broad, that it has no legitimate legislative purpose, a concept that courts have roundly rejected, Caitlin.
Yeah, of course, he's now saying that after he turned over these documents and these text messages. Whitney Wild, thank you so much.